Welcome back, everyone. Today's video is going to be covering a trivia game. We're going to be building a trivia game with just a few lines of code, and we'll be asking a user to answer a question, take their input, check it against an answer that we've preset, as well as keeping score. We're going to be using some of the functions that we used in last week's question and answer project. So if you did not watch last week's video, I'll put a link in the description below so you can catch up with that and start with this project, because we will be using the variable function as well as the input function in today's trivia game project. So let's get started. Now, as you can see here, we have the code from last week, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And I'll just put hashtag trivia game. So now whenever you want to put a note, you always start with a hashtag, and that will actually tell the program or tell Python not to use that as code. It's just a note for yourself or another developer that will be looking at the code. So what we want to do also in any good game is keep score on answers that people are getting correct. So we're going to create a variable here that says user underscore score equals 0. So we're starting off with a clean slate. There is a score of 0 for all users when they start off. Now, when we want to set an answer, so we want to have a key of correct answers. So we'll put answer underscore 1. So this is the first answer, equals, and we're going to ask a question on what painter was born in Spain. So we know that Pablo Picasso was born in Spain, so we'll set that as the correct answer, Picasso. Now this could be, you can ask any question you want, and this will be the correct answer. That if the user guesses this answer, they will get a point for their score because their answer will be correct. In this case, we're going to set the answer number 1 to be Picasso. Now I'll go down here and I will ask the question. So again, we use the print function. So print, parentheses, quotations, what painter was born in Spain? Question mark, close quotes and close parentheses. So that is going to tell the console to ask that question. So if I run the code here, obviously I won't see what my answer is. I will just see the question. So what painter was born in Spain? Now that's actually the end of the program because that's all we've written. So we're not actually using this variable of the answer or the score just yet. So let's continue coding. So let's go into the next line here. And we say, okay, input underscore 1. And I'm labeling the input number 1 because we're going to have multiple inputs in this trivia game. So we put 2 equals input underscore, apologize. So, okay, so here we're going to actually ask the question. So we'll put 1 equals, I was getting ahead of myself there, input Picasso or Matisse. So we asked the question, now we're going to give them a multiple choice. And again, we're going to use what we used last week, and we'll use /n to allow the input to be put into a separate line. And here we're going to use an if statement. So if answer 1 equals, so double equals mark means equals is the same as our input 1, then we can print answer 1 plus is correct. And close quotations. So right here, what we're doing is that we ask the question. We are giving the user a multiple choice and asking them for their input. If they choose, let's say, Picasso here as their input, and we're checking answer 1 against this user input, if they equal together, then we can say, oh, and this should be, instead of answer 1, we should say input 1 plus whatever is correct. So we can check this again. So, okay, so what painter was born in Spain? Picasso. We put that. And Picasso is correct. Now, the program is not set up just yet for a wrong answer. So if I put Matisse, it will actually end the program because we did not do an else statement here. So if we go here and let's just assign a value of 1 to this score to the correct answer. And I'm going to say plus equals 1. And that's basically going to say, okay, we are going to give a correct answer 1 point for that correct answer. But now let's assign an else statement to this. So else print sorry, that is incorrect. Now what we did here is we are assigning a value to the answer, so that is the correct answer, Picasso. We're asking the question. We're providing an option here, an opportunity here for the user to put an input and giving them a multiple choice. If the answer is equal to the input or the input is equal to the correct answer, then we're saying that is correct. And we're giving them a point. If they choose the incorrect answer, we are simply saying, sorry, that is incorrect. And let's actually put here, actually, we'll just say, sorry, that's incorrect. I was actually going to reissue them their input, but let's just keep it simple here. So if we hit play, we can say, what painter was born in Spain? Picasso. Picasso is correct. Now, if I rerun this and say, Matisse, sorry, that is incorrect. So what we did here is we did an if statement. If this, then this. If not, then this. Now, let's display the final score. Or let's actually add another question here. So what other question should we add? Let's go ahead and say print next question. What color is the sky? And again, we're starting off with print, parentheses, quotations, ask the question. So we're creating a string, close the quotations, close the parentheses. And here we got rid of the indent because this is part of the whole code. It's not part of the if statement yet or anymore. And let's assign answer number 2 equals, correct answer would be blue. And we just assigned a variable, so we did not have to put parentheses there. That was just a quick mistake. And let's go ahead and say, okay, input number 2 is equal to input. And let's give an option, blue or red. And again, we're going to do slash n, close quotes, close parentheses, just to have the input put on a new line. And now we're going to use the if statement again. So we're basically repeating the same thing that we did here for this question. If answer 2 is the same as input, put a space, just easier to read, input 2, then 2 plus is correct, and we'll give the user another point. Else print sorry, that is incorrect. And we will finish that off with just telling the user what their final score was. Print your final score was. And now this is going to be a little bit tricky, because if I would just put, like I did last week, the string plus my numeric value of the score, user score, it's actually going to highlight it as an error because I cannot combine a string with a numeric value. The way to get around that is by saying, okay, let's convert that numeric value into a string. So it's basically just going to show the number as a string. So I put string str and put the user score in parentheses itself. Now essentially what that's going to do is going to display a number as a string. It's basically tricking the program to say, okay, this is one complete string. There's no integers, numeric values in there. So again, if I go ahead and now play our complete program, it's going to ask the question, what painter was born in Spain? I can say, okay, Picasso. Now it's going to go, Picasso is correct. Next question, what color is the sky? I say blue. Blue is correct. Your final score was 2. Now if I go ahead and change that to is, just make it sound better. And let's get some questions wrong. So Matisse, sorry, that's incorrect, and goes to the next question. And let's say I get answer correct is blue. Blue is correct. Your final score is 1. So what that is doing here, it's actually counting only, giving me a score only if I get the answer correct, and not giving me a point if I get the answer incorrect. Now, if I go ahead and repeat these few lines of code over and over, I could create a more complex or longer lasting game, but this is a quick, small project to get onto your portfolio to learn how to use if-else statements, as well as converting an integer into a string and taking your skills to that next level. Now, this is all going towards us working towards leveling up and getting our skills so we can build our portfolio, as well as get to the point where we are going to be building a project using a GUI, a graphical user interface. If you found this video helpful, please like the video below, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified for my next video. I'm going to be continuing to post different things like this, different projects that we can add to our portfolio and get our skills to that next level where we can actually be coding larger projects that we can be sharing with our friends and possibly even selling one day. Thank you.